Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Kristen with Monarch Plans, and today I'm doing my plan with me for the week of April 4th through April 10th. I am still in my teacher planner from Erin Condren. It's the Focus Teacher Planner layout. So I am just going to get started. I'm using kit 313 from my shop. It's this really pretty, like, I don't know, floral-y, but it has like these, I think they're moths, I don't think they're butterflies, moth designs and everything like that. And then I also have the full boxes, so you can kind of see some of the details and everything like that. I have the extra sheet, and then I have the headers, which I've already put the actual date dots on there, and then two of the main sheets because if you've seen my plan with me's before, I need two of the sheets in order to have enough washi for this layout. So that is what I'm using for this week. I am just going to get started because obviously it takes a little while to start putting down all of the washi. I have been so busy. Like, I can't even explain how busy I've been recently. There's a ton of different things going on. So most recently, I think, like, if you've kind of been following along with my channel for a little while, you know that January through, I want to say like April is usually really busy in terms of my full-time job. So I've been working on that, and that's kept me pretty busy during the day, but I have been doing a ton of stuff for my shop recently. And that is kind of what's like taking up the most time, is really working on some things behind the scenes. And sorry, I feel like this plan with me is like a little bit of a little life update because I haven't posted a plan with me in a little while, so bear with me. I'll just be talking like while I'm putting down my washi. But I don't know if I mentioned it, but I bought a new machine for my shop, a new cutting machine. I'm trying to get away from the silhouettes as much as possible because they are very, very unreliable. And that's something that I wish I knew a little bit more before starting a shop, was just how much time I would be spending kind of like cutting and recutting and like recalibrating things and all of that, because silhouettes are just, I don't think, meant to really be used in a commercial capacity. And I've never really found good troubleshooting tips for my silhouette. It was just like anytime I would have an issue, there wasn't a whole lot of things to do or like ways to fix what was happening. So if things just weren't cutting right, there's not a whole lot to do. It's just like, oh, you just have to keep trying. And that was really frustrating. So long story short, I am switching machines, and it's a machine that's been talked about actually a lot recently, which I think it's just kind of like a more recent thing, but I was looking at it like last year a lot and just didn't really jump on it until the beginning of the year, when I kind of made that decision that I wanted to really invest in a new piece of equipment. So I got the new equipment a couple weeks ago. It took like I think it was like 2 months to get to me with just like supply chain issues and everything. So I finally received that, and I have just been really busy getting everything kind of set up for me to start using that machine like more full time. So that means I have to redesign like a bunch of kits, like all my newer kits, and figure out ways to be able to produce my older kits without having to redesign them, because the machine doesn't run on Silhouette software. So if you're interested kind of in me talking a little bit more about the machine, like in detail, I don't want to turn this plan with me into like a technical discussion about the machine I got. But if you want me to talk about that a little more and what I ended up switching to and how it's kind of working for me, I would be happy to do that. But I received it, and it has been just a big like process to get things kind of fixed and formatted into a format that I can use on this new machine. And so I'm moving all of my designs over to Illustrator. I was using Silhouette Studio before just because it was easier for me to just do everything in one program, especially just starting out. I just was more familiar with Silhouette Studio. So I have been moving everything over and redesigning, creating templates and everything like that. And I've had some like amazing help, especially from Melanie over at Orange Umbrella Co. Like seriously, I think it's the most amazing thing when shop owners are willing to like help each other, especially because like we're all kind of in the same business, so to say. So just that someone would like feel comfortable helping me when I've had some other shops that are not as friendly. So I am just very, very thankful for her help, especially with Illustrator, because that is where I was very, very nervous about making the switch, because I had done some work with like InDesign when I was younger, but that is not the same as Illustrator. So yeah, so I'm moving everything over, and that has kept me busy every single night of every single night for the past like couple weeks. Is I'm just like trying to redesign things and get things all set up so it's a smooth process for me to cut using this new machine. And with the new machine, I'm hoping that I'm able to be more of a ready to ship shop. I'm in general, I have some things cut, but for the most part, I am a like cut to order shop, and that's just been how it's had to go because my silhouettes have never been like functional enough for me to be able to just continuously cut stickers like all day without having issues. And I don't know, if you're a sticker shop owner, I don't know if you've had that same experience with your, you know, your silhouettes or whatever. But it has been the most frustrating thing ever, to the point where there's like, I don't even know how many times I've been like, okay, I'm gonna quit. Like, I just don't think I can even have a shop anymore, just because it's so frustrating and really discouraging. So all of that to say that this new machine should be, or is, way more reliable, way faster. So I should be able to kind of start getting everything prepared to be ready to ship instead of a like print and cut to order. So that is something I'm really excited about. That's kind of been like the goal this entire time, was to get to a point where I could have stock that was like cut and reliably have like some inventory that I could just pull. Okay, so sorry, my computer, or not my computer, my camera stopped recording all of a sudden. So just restarted it. But yeah, so I've been extremely busy with all of that stuff, which has been a little bit overwhelming, I'll say, but hopefully things should get kind of figured out from here on out and we should be good to go. But that is kind of what's going on with that. And so part of that is with new releases. New releases are moving a little bit more slowly for May, which I wanted to get out like earlier, back in March and everything, but I've been designing things in Illustrator, which is just way more slow moving because I'm not used to it. So things are moving a little bit slower. And I think for the new releases, I am going to just do 3 kits. Like I usually do 3 kits and then 2 mini kits. And I think I'm just going to do 3 kits this time and not worry about the mini kits just for this, like for May, just so I can kind of get everything done. I'm getting a lot faster, but I am just trying to get everything set up. So hopefully that makes some sense. But yeah, there's just so much going on with all of that. And then April in general is just a really busy month for me. I'll be posting, I think, my April plan with me sometime soon. I believe I need to kind of like look at my calendar and see when I can edit it and everything. But you'll see April's a really busy month in terms of birthdays and stuff. So my weekends are sometimes kind of taken up by like birthday stuff and birthday dinners and all of that. So that also gets a little bit complicated. Not to mention, we're going into launch season for some of the new or some of the different planner companies. And so that is always crazy too, in terms of having to take time to redesign kits, especially if the dimensions change, which there's always something that ends up changing, whether it's like the margins are different, the boxes are a little bit different, all of that. So it's just something where I have to be prepared to do some updates. So it is definitely going into kind of like a crazy time of year. So I only have a couple work meetings this week, and then other than that, it's all just kind of like personal stuff. And I have my Moxie Life pouch. I love this thing. It's one of those where you can like slide it down using like the side things. It comes a little like pencil pouch thing. But I put everything in here. So let me grab my white out so I can white out these things on the edge. The other big thing is my sister leaves this week. I have an older sister. She leaves this week for Nepal. She is going to be trekking to Everest Base Camp, and she's not like climbing Mount Everest or anything like that, but she is trekking just to the base camp. So she's flying to Kathmandu on she's leaving on Thursday, and she's flying all the way over to Nepal and starting her trek, I think around like Sunday or so, or I guess it would be maybe Saturday. Like the time difference is just so insane that I kind of need to get my head around what that actually looks like. So I am so excited for that. I told her I'm going to be living vicariously through her. I'm printing out like a route map, and I'm going to hang it up on our fridge, and I'm going to be able to look at it and see like where she is each day and all that kind of stuff. And I'm hoping she's able to kind of contact me. I mean, if not like on the trip, hopefully like when she gets back to civilization, because up there, like on the trail is definitely a little bit spotty. You can't really get to it unless you're kind of walking. Or on a yak, I guess. So, just so crazy, and I am so excited for her. But with that being said, I need to, like put in here a couple different things. So I'm trying to think how I'm going to do this. I have the full boxes. Actually, I might just use these like half boxes to keep track of some of this stuff. So I'm going to use them full boxes, and I think on Monday I'll use like one of these. And then I'll just use the rest of them here. But yeah, so I'm hoping that this upcoming weekend I'll be able to have some new releases. They'll be my May new releases, and I will just keep on working through this week and hopefully have June ready like really soon thereafter, because there is just like a lot that I need to get done. And I'm hoping to have, so May and June this week, or like May this week and then June right after that. And then I should be back on track in terms of like all of the like releases and everything. And I think I'll give myself until Sunday. Actually, I think I'm going to use the blue box. Yeah, there's just like so much stuff going on that I feel really like I really can't like commit to things, which I hate feeling this way. And I hate things being like up in the air, especially around like new releases. But this is one of those like transition periods in my business where I'm hoping after I get all of this stuff implemented, I'm going to be able to spend so much more time on like the promotion and marketing side of my business, and on like social media stuff, and on designing new things and all of that. Because at the moment, and this is something that really like played into my decision making with buying the new machine, at the moment all of my time is going into printing and cutting stickers, and it is preventing me from being able to scale my business, which is something that I need to scale my business. I know that's something that I want to do. And so I am trying to just cut out that bottleneck, because I know that that is really preventing a lot of the growth that I'm looking for. So all of my time recently has just been like printing and cutting stickers and like struggling to design things because whenever I design things, like something inevitably goes wrong with my machines and all of this stuff. So I am really excited for like this kind of change, even though it's really kind of painful in the meantime. And I know that if it's frustrating for me, I know it's also frustrating for some people, like the customers and everything. So that is enough about that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to put in until in the meantime. And I don't think so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the boxes here and I want to write in the different things that are going on for my sister really quickly. So, my sister flies at, let's see, I think it's like 5 p.m. And then Abby arrives at 8:20 p.m. in Kathmandu. Our time. I'm trying to keep things like in our time because that is like the only thing I can keep straight. So I know 8:20 p.m. our time is like 9 o'clock in the morning in Kathmandu. There, for whatever reason, I always thought like time zones were just hours, but Kathmandu is 12 hours and 45 minutes ahead. So that makes it way more confusing with the 15-minute increment. So I'm hoping I can like in my mind just round, say like 13 hours, but it's really weird looking at all the maps and everything. On the 9th, she flies to this like tiny little airport up in the Himalayas to start her trek. And then on the 10th, she will trek to a like little, I don't even want to call it like a town. I guess that is a town. But that's like, she's going to be well on her way by that time. So it is kind of crazy. Like I'm super excited to be following along, but I don't know. She is just like such a brave person to do that. I wish I could do it. I would totally do it with her, but I am not in shape for that. And that would be something I would love to do, but it seems like just a very far off dream with how my life is right now. So maybe someday, but I don't know. That it's just kind of crazy. On here, I want to put, it is my brother-in-law's girlfriend's birthday on Monday. So I want to wish her a happy birthday, all of that. And I'm excited because we'll be going and getting massages tomorrow. I'm filming this on Saturday, so we're getting massages on Sunday. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going with Nicole and with my mother-in-law. Her birthday is on the 3rd. So mother-in-law and then Nicole's birthday are on the 3rd and the 4th, which is kind of crazy. And then my husband's birthday is on the 17th. So there is a lot of stuff going on the first like couple weeks of the month. Other than that, I don't think we have anything like scheduled. So I don't think I'll need any of like the appointment boxes or anything like that, which is kind of crazy, except every week we have Andrew's bowling, which by this time it seems like I should be accustomed to that, but I feel like every single week it sneaks up on me and I'm always like, where's Andrew? Like he should be home by now. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh yeah, he won't be home until like 10. So there is that. And then I am going to put this stuff in here. There's that. And then she arrives. I'm mostly just doing this so I can like keep track of her. She has been like communicating with me about all the steps and everything and all the preparations, so I feel good about it. But I'm like one of those people that likes to know what's going on, especially because my sister is going to be on the other side of the world, so I am going to be keeping track of her. There is all of that stuff. And then other than that, I am hoping to have a couple different videos up this week. So Tuesday and I think Thursday or Friday, I'm hoping to have a couple videos. One of them I'm hoping, like I mentioned, will be my plan with me for the month. And then the other one I'm hoping will be my Plum paper kind of walkthrough of the different layouts. So that is what I'm hoping, but like I mentioned, everything is pretty up in the air. So I'm hoping that that's how it goes. But I might switch them, all of that stuff. So we will see. I feel so bad for being like so unpredictable, but I'm hoping that in the next couple months things will be a lot better with that new machine and everything. So also just put this on the wrong day, so I'm getting that fixed. Okay, so you see everything I think is down and ready to go. I'm going to start writing in things, just like the different things that go in each of the days, just more like to-do list items. Other than that, let me see. I think I'm going to do May new releases there. Okay, but now I'm going to go through, I'm going to write in everything, and then kind of walk through it. And I know this has been super chatty, but it's one of those where it's like after I don't do a video in a little while, I come back and I have a lot of stuff to say. So hopefully you guys don't mind, but we'll end this in just a few minutes once I write everything in, and then I'll be back. I think I'm ready. That took a very long time. There was a couple things that I had to look up. So I am back, and this is definitely a little bit more busy than my normal spreads at this point in time, but I tried to brain dump everything because I'm at that point where I have so much in my brain that I just needed to get it down on paper, versus usually before I do my plan with me's, I've kind of like brain dumped everything onto a separate sheet, but I kind of cut that step out and did everything here. So hopefully things go according to plan. But so you can see I kind of have a busy like beginning of the week. There's some things I want to get done at work. I don't have a lot of meetings or anything, but there's just tasks and things that need to get done. So I try my hardest to get those done like earlier in the morning, just to get them crossed off the list. And then when things come up throughout the day, I'm able to kind of tackle those. But I try to really tackle everything I possibly can that's on my to-do list as soon as possible when I start work every day. And then Monday, it's a lot of just like grocery stuff. I always do my order and my pickup on Monday, or I at least try to. And then I have to pay bills that are due kind of beginning part of the month. Like I mentioned, it's my brother-in-law's girlfriend's birthday. this section here, I usually kind of separate like Monarch Plans, the shop, versus Monarch Plans, the social media side of things. But instead I am using this row here for like health related stuff. So these are all Peloton workouts, the strength workouts. And then I'm also hoping to do a couple different rides this week that I'll put in. I just need to look and kind of plan out what rides I want to do. They're probably not going to be anything crazy just because I am getting kind of back into riding on the bike, and I try not to go super crazy hard at first, just so I don't like burn myself out. So I'll figure those out soon. And then planning and assessing my food every day, I just have that written in so I can check that off once that is all done. And then here at the very bottom, this is my shop stuff and my social media stuff. So I have a couple different runs planned to the post office based on the orders that are outstanding right now. I know I kind of need to get some things done the first part of the week, and then I can focus a little bit more on like the new designs and everything, getting everything ready for this weekend for the May new releases. So I'm having some times in here to get the printing and cutting done of my current kits, and then also designing my new kits. And so hopefully if everything goes smoothly, those will be done. I'll be able to release those on Sunday. And then like I said, hopefully June will be ready very soon thereafter. So that is the plan for that, but lots of different things just going on and making sure that I'm kind of getting things done every step of the way every day this week. And then a couple videos also, I'm hoping to put those up because I really, really want to be more consistent on here. I love putting out videos on YouTube, but it's just like kind of moves to the bottom of the list when I have so many other things going on. So other than that, this weekend, I don't think there's a whole lot going on. Like I said, I'm definitely going to be keeping track of my sister, but I don't think she can really communicate to me all that much until she gets on Wi-Fi. She can obviously use data if she needs to, but I know she's trying to kind of preserve that and not try and spend a lot of money on like calling us and stuff like that. I think it's like $4 a minute or something for phone calls. So I think we're going to try and paint in our living room this upcoming weekend. I'm hoping so because that's been like on our list for a little while, but it just seems like every time Andrew and I have a day off, we're doing other things or other things come up. But other than that, I think that is pretty much it for this week. I have a few things. I need to research some new providers for like dentists, like a new OBGYN, just because I just want to get like situated with a new doctor and everything like that. And it's like so hard to find a doctor that you really, I guess, like relate well with, if that makes sense. I really just want to feel comfortable with all of the different like providers I see. And, you know, it's like you go and you see one and it's just like you don't get the right vibe, I guess. So I am hoping I can find a couple that I really like that are a little bit closer to where I live now, because the ones I was seeing weren't as close. I need to look for a birthday gift for my husband. Like I mentioned, his birthday is on the 17th. So a week from Sunday. So that's kind of crazy. It's also Easter. So I don't know if we're going to do something special that day or not. But it just kind of falls kind of perfectly on that Sunday. And then I still need to respond to some landscapers to come and look at our backyard and figure out what we're going to do with our backyard. Because getting to that point in time where it's getting a little toasty outside. So I think we want to get that done before it gets too sweltering hot. So, you know, the people that are working on it for us aren't miserable and hate us. So anyways, I think that is it for this week. Seems like a pretty busy week. I'm hoping I can keep on top of things. But we'll just have to see. It's been very difficult lately, and sometimes I feel that burnout, like Wednesday, Thursday in the week. I feel like a little bit worn out and tired, so I'm hoping I can kind of keep the motivation going through the week to especially get the new releases out. That's my biggest thing, so be looking out for those. I'll do some sneak peeks and everything. I have those planned for Friday and Saturday, so I'll have those on Instagram if you're interested. But anyways, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you for following along as I just blabbered. I know that was a lot of stuff that I just kind of word vomited, but like I mentioned, I'm hoping it's a little bit more consistent, and a little bit easier to follow along with sometime soon when I get the new machine up and running. So anyways, again, thank you and have a great day. Bye.